The feeling of wanting something is a neurological confession that you do not have it. Every time you yearn for a different reality, you are training your brain to master the art of absence. This video will show you how to shut down that process and install the one that makes your desired future feel like a memory. As long as you remain in the state of hope, your subconscious mind is actively working to maintain the very gap you're trying to close. Your brain is a pattern-matching machine. It has one primary job: to make the outside world match your inside world. When you hope for something, more money, a new relationship, better health, you are feeding it a pattern of lack. The dominant thought is the gap. The feeling is of distance. Your brain, being the loyal servant it is, gets to work filtering reality to give you more evidence of that gap. It highlights the bills you can't pay. It makes you notice every happy couple when you feel alone. It amplifies every physical ache. It's just doing its job. It's confirming your dominant inner state. Hoping is a state of separation. So is wanting, wishing, and trying. They are all synonyms for "I don't have it." This creates a brutal feedback loop. You feel the lack, so you try to manifest from that feeling of lack. Your brain then diligently shows you more lack to confirm your feeling. You see the external lack, which reinforces the internal feeling. And the cycle continues. You're trying to build a new reality using the blueprints of your old one. You are asking your mind to solve a problem while being immersed in the frequency of the problem itself. This is why sheer effort often fails. You are pushing against a system that is designed to keep you consistent. So, how do you break the loop? You have to give your brain a new pattern to match. A pattern so clear, so persistent, that it overwrites the old one. The key is to confuse your brain's filing system about what is real. Imagine your subconscious mind is a vast, literal-minded filing clerk. Every experience, thought, and feeling you have gets tagged and filed away. When you hope for wealth, the clerk takes that thought and files it in a cabinet labeled "Things We Don't Have Yet," or even "Fantasies." Every time you access that thought, you are physically and neurologically walking over to that specific cabinet. You are reinforcing its location. You are strengthening the path to the lack file. The goal is to get that desire misfiled. You need the clerk to take your desire for wealth and accidentally file it in the cabinet labeled "Things That Are True Now," or even better, boring obvious facts. How is this possible? Your subconscious clerk has a peculiar quirk. It cannot tell the difference between a real, lived experience and an imagined experience that is saturated with sensory detail and feeling. A memory of a past success and a vividly imagined future success light up the same parts of the brain. They both get filed as experience. This is the exploit. This is the backdoor. Hope is a vague abstract concept. The filing clerk doesn't know what to do with it besides file it under wishes. But an imagined scene, felt as real, is a piece of data. It's a memory. It's an event. When you stop hoping for it and start living from it in your imagination, you are creating synthetic memories. You are forging a new past for yourself. You repeat this inner event enough times, and the filing clerk gets confused. It has a pile of new memories showing you as confident and successful. It also has the old files showing you as struggling. Faced with contradictory evidence, the clerk will default to the most recent, most frequent, and most emotionally intense file. Your job is to make the new memory more real than the old reality. But your logical mind fights back. It screams that you're lying to yourself. So how do you get past this internal guard? You have to change the evidence it sees every single day. You must become a ruthless curator of evidence. Your current life is the physical proof of your previous inner conversations and assumptions. To change your life, you have to change the proof you allow into your mind. This is a mental diet. And just like a physical diet, it is a moment-to-moment commitment. You start by starving the old pattern. You stop feeding your attention to evidence of lack. This means you stop complaining about your current situation, to others and to yourself. Every complaint is an affirmation of what you don't want. It's another vote for the old reality. It's handing the filing clerk another piece of paper for the "Things We Don't Have" cabinet. You stop endlessly analyzing the problem. You stop talking about how hard things are. You withdraw your emotional investment from the reality you wish to leave behind. Simultaneously, you begin a deliberate process of evidence collection for your new reality. You hunt for it. You look for any tiny piece of proof that your desire is on its way. If you want abundance, a friend buying you a coffee is evidence. Finding $1 on the street is evidence. Getting an unexpected discount is evidence. These events are neutral. They have no intrinsic meaning. Your labeling of them is what gives them power. Most people would dismiss these as trivial. You will treat them as whispers of the new reality taking form. You are training your perception to spot proof. You are building a new file, one piece of small, seemingly insignificant paper at a time. This feels awkward at first. Your logical mind will call it confirmation bias. And it is. You are deliberately creating a confirmation bias for the reality you choose. You are biasing the system in your favor. But what happens when undeniable negative evidence appears? A big bill arrives in the mail? A project gets rejected? A health symptom flares up? Ignoring these feels like pure delusion. This is where the whole system either clicks into place or falls apart. When contradictory evidence appears, you have to reframe its meaning. You must learn to see every event, positive or negative, as part of the bridge of incidents leading to your goal. The system is designed to get you to your destination, and sometimes the fastest route involves a detour. That rejection letter wasn't a failure. It was the universe clearing the path for the opportunity that is actually right for you. That unexpected bill wasn't a setback. It was an opportunity to practice the feeling of abundance, to look at a large number and assume the feeling of it being handled with ease. You see it as a test of your new state. Can you hold the assumption of wealth, even when the paper in your hand says otherwise? This is the work. It is an active, conscious relabeling of reality. As it happens, you start to see your life as a movie where you are the protagonist, and you already know how it ends. Every obstacle is just a plot point required for character development. It's the scene that makes the final victory more satisfying. The hero of the story never panics at the midpoint challenge. They know it's part of the journey. By adopting this frame, you shift from being a victim of your circumstances to being the director of them. You take the raw footage of your daily life and you edit it to fit the narrative you have chosen. You are no longer reacting to reality. You are assigning its meaning. This is a profound shift in power. It's moving from effect to cause. This level of mental discipline is intense. It can feel like holding two opposing thoughts at once, but there is a way to make this process automatic. There's a way to have the discipline run on its own. It requires you to stop focusing on the thing you want and start focusing on the person who has it. The ultimate shortcut is to shift your identity. Stop trying to manifest a new job. Start being the person who is a respected leader in their field. Stop trying to attract a partner. Start being the person who is secure, loving, and already whole. This works because your behaviors and feelings are a downstream effect of your identity. You don't have to force yourself to feel a certain way. You just have to ask a different question. Instead of, how do I get there? You ask, what would I be doing right now if I were already there? How would the wealthy version of you think about the bills on the table? Probably with boredom. It's a mechanical task, like taking out the trash. They wouldn't attach a story of fear and scarcity to it. So you look at the bill and you practice thinking from that state. You access that version of yourself. What inner conversations does the person who is healthy and vibrant have? They likely aren't obsessing over every little symptom. Their inner dialogue is probably about what they'll do with their energy, what hike they'll take, what project they'll start. You stop the inner conversations of the sick person, and you start having the inner conversations of the well person. This is the deepest level of the work. You are embodying an identity. You are acting as if you are rehearsing the state of being so consistently that it becomes your default nature. You do it in your imagination first, then you let it inform your small actions throughout the day. You walk like that person. You make decisions like that person. You treat others the way that person would. Each action is another vote. It's a piece of evidence you hand to your subconscious, and soon the pile of evidence for the new identity is so large that it becomes the dominant file. The subconscious has no choice. It must begin to project this new identity onto the screen of your reality. Knowing is the absence of hope. It's the absence of trying. You don't hope you have two hands. You just know. You don't try to have your name. You just have it. It's a quiet, settled, almost boring certainty. This is the state you're aiming for. It isn't a loud, forced positivity. It is a calm assumption. It is the natural byproduct of the identity you have consistently practiced. You reach a point where imagining your desire feels less like a fantasy and more like a memory. You remember what it felt like to close that deal. You remember the feeling of that healthy body. You remember the feeling of that loving relationship. It feels familiar. Normal. When your desire feels normal, it's on its way, because you have finally given your brain a clear, consistent pattern to match. You've convinced the filing clerk. And now, its only job is to rearrange the outside world, to reflect the new blueprints you've given it. Stop trying to get there. Start living from there. The inner work comes first, and the physical world is just a mirror. With a slight delay, you are living in the physical manifestation of the identity you were practicing 3 months ago. The identity you practice today is building the reality you will step into 3 months from now. The knowing is not something you chase, it is something you become. You stop hoping for a different life, and you simply decide to be a different person. And this same identity mechanism is the reason why so many common techniques, like affirmations, can actually lock you into the very state you're trying to escape, which is an entirely different kind of trap.